So welcome everyone, good morning. Let's take a second and find our sit bones. And then notice what's happening in the pelvic bowl. Kind of roll back and then roll forward and roll back and kind of find that center space. Maybe wiggle side to side so that you can feel yourself really anchored down through those sit bones. And then gently lift through the pelvic floor, drawing the belly button back, going long through the spine. Notice whether your head is forward or back, and just find that happy medium where you can touch the top of your crown and grow up nice and tall. And then take one deep breath in through the nose and let it out. And then with your right hand, opening the thumb and the little finger. We're going to do alternate nostril breathing. So we'll inhale through both nostrils. Close off the right nostril and exhale through the left nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. Close off the left nostril. Exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Close it off. Exhale through the left nostril. Inhale through the left. Close it off. Exhale through the right. Inhale. Close it off. Exhale. Inhale. Close it off. And continue with the pattern. We're going to do a few rounds of these. So even though I'm quiet, I'm still here with you. If the monkey's wanting something to do, let's count 5 more rounds. So we're at 3 more rounds. We're beginning our last round. So the last time you inhale on the right side, and then exhale out of both nostrils, and inhale fully, and exhale, diving forward through the nostrils. Inhaling, growing tall. Pausing in the movement, but keeping the breath. Begin to notice what's happening in the body. Where is there tension? Where is there softness? Notice where your support is. So start at the feet. Begin to notice if the feet are soft or are they holding unknowingly. Maybe do a little bit of wiggling through the spine and notice what's happening between the knee. So from the lower leg to the upper leg, the junction, the knee, what's happening. If you need to wiggle around to try to create space, do that. Then make the circles a little bigger, maybe rocking a little bit side to side. See if you can begin to feel the spine move like a wave, side to side. This is not a big movement. This is kind of a little sort of snaky movement, getting that spine to open. And then begin to feel the shoulders lead the movement of bringing the body around the pelvic fold. Notice what happens in the hips. So the hip joint is the junction between the upper leg and the lower body. And that pelvic fold is a place of stability. And so the interesting thing with stability is it needs to be strong and supportive, yet fluid. So often, as we begin to grow older, we begin to lose that fluidity through our pelvis. So what would happen if we invited it to move? And see if you can close your eyes and feel the hip joints kind of resting in their sockets. And get a sense of that sacrum gently resting into the pelvic bone bowl. So none of these joints are solidified. They're all attached with ligaments. There's space in between them. We're supposed to have synovial fluid. And when we only move forward in life and we don't do any of this other movement, it gets to be really stuck. And so what shows up on the mat will show up in life. If you find yourself being stuck in the body, take a moment and look in your life. Where might you be stuck? And it might be something as simple as just an everyday pattern. Something you do every day. And if you notice that and can just cause a little, what I like to call disruption in the pattern, then it will begin to create some fluidity. Now, as you're moving, begin to find yourself making circles around that pelvic bowl. So we now move the movement into the lower back, into the pelvic bowl. I get a little bit of a rocking sensation beginning to happen in that pelvis. So my sit bones are now being included. And remember to breathe. Notice where you feel it. In my body, I feel it in the tendons, kind of my attachment points of the front of my body, a little bit in the deep rotators, and then pause and go the other way. So creating disruption is sometimes just stopping and going a different way. Find your breath. Continue moving. See what kind of movement can you make with that pelvic bowl. Sometimes the hips will do what sounds like popping. That's just creating some space. Notice if you've lost your pelvis floor, has it gone on vacation? Mine did. Bring that belly button back in. Now begin to feel the circles grow smaller as you come to just circling around the spine. So imagine that this circle is really tiny and it's from the crown of your head, almost as if you're circling around your tailbone. Feel yourself drop back into your sit bones. Engage that pelvic floor as you find stillness. Bringing your hands out to your knees. You can either put them palms down or palms up. Are we looking for an internal journey, palms down? Are we looking for openness and what does life have to offer today? Palms up. Take a nice deep breath in. Let it out. Notice what's happening. Find the stillness. If the mind is wanting to participate, the thinking mind, just invite it to another part of your brain. Imagine that it's like a ticker tape at the bottom of a TV screen. You know it's there, but you're really not paying attention to it. Or the radio going in the other room. Dip your chin just ever so slightly. Feel the back of the neck opening. Imagine your ears softening down with your shoulders softening down. Everything's softening except that pelvic floor is supporting you. So make sure that that pelvic floor is no clenching, softly supporting. And on the next inhale, bring your arms into it, inhaling the hands up overhead. We're going to do some arm work today. Drop that left hand behind your head, take a hold of that elbow, and encourage that shoulder behind, that arm behind your shoulder. Feeling this in your triceps. So notice your body. If you begin to drop forward and you lose the tallness, build back up. If you're losing your head, bring it back up, grow long. Feel those ribs lift up, but the shoulders down. Feel the opening in the back of the arm. Breathe into it. Excellent, lifting that arm up. Same arm, keep your hand on the elbow, bring it out right in front of you, strong and long, and draw it across the body. Drop that shoulder down. Deep breath in. Find your breath. Releasing that arm down, opening it up, bringing it behind you. The palm is facing behind you. Take a hold of your wrist and just draw that arm behind you. Breathe into it. Still growing long and tall. Find your breath. What is it that rests on your shoulder that you can let go off? Releasing it down. Inhaling your hands up. Dropping that left arm behind you. Elbow, hand to elbow. Again, always, when we have tightness in these triceps, we have a tendency to compensate in the body. So really, think about drawing up through the crown, engaging that pelvic floor. You begin to lose it in your head. What can you do to feel the lengthening in the crown of your head? As you draw that arm behind you, breathe into it. Notice the sensations you might be having elsewhere in the body. Inhaling, lifting that arm up, bringing it down in front of you. Dropping out of the shoulders again, drawing that arm across. Notice how the right arm is different from the left. Just notice. Where do you feel softening? I'm having movement in all sorts of my body. My neck has popped twice. My hip has popped once. All sorts of shifting just from opening the shoulders, letting whatever I no longer need to roll off my shoulders. Opening that hand wide, bringing it behind you, and taking a hold of the wrist, and dropping out of that shoulder, going long. Deep breath. Shoulders are big. They carry a lot for us. We don't realize it, but they're there to support us. We don't have to hold the world up with them. Releasing your hands, inhaling the hands up overhead. Taking a hold of that left wrist and drawing that body over. Lengthening all the way from your shoulder, the axillary, which is the armpit, down to the hip. Now, if you begin to feel yourself come off the mat, sink back down into that hip. Engage your core. So the work here is from the lifting through the arm and the pelvic floor, which anchors you down. In lifting up, we're anchored down. Inhaling, coming up, switching hands, exhaling the other direction. Breathing into it. Beautiful. Inhaling, letting your hands go behind you. If you have the space to clasp your hands, do that. If you don't, take your belt and bring it to palms facing up, and then lift those arms straight up. Now, the nice thing about having the belt is that when you clasp your hands, I'm going to turn around here and give you my backside so you can see this. When you clasp your hands like this, as you begin to lift, we get this kind of weird torquing thing happening in the wrist, where if you use your belt and your strap, then it takes the pressure off the wrist. So if you struggle with wrist things anyway, this is a really, really beautiful option to give those wrists the option to be straight and lifting up. We're still breathing. Two more breaths. And on the next inhale, go long in the crown, keeping those hands up. We're going to dive forward, leading with that heart. We've opened the heart, diving straight forward. Lifting those hands as high as they will go. And then bringing yourself back up and lowering the hands down. Beautiful. Let's take a minute and just shake out those shoulders a little bit. Get your hips involved. Make it a big dynamic movement. Good. We're going to move right into tabletop. So coming right into tabletop. So coming with our knees directly under our hips, hands directly underneath our shoulders. We're going to then walk our hands forward on the mat to the end of the mat and press back into puppy. So puppy like dog is going to be the heart towards the knee. Forehead might touch the mat. So your tail is still up. And if you need to walk back on the mat a little bit to give yourself some space, do that. And feel yourself work that heart all the way to the knees. Breathe into it. Inhaling, coming up, bringing those hands back underneath us. Finding ourselves back in tabletop, beginning to lengthen through the crown, engage that belly button into the spine, grow long in the crown. We'll have 3 breaths just right here in tabletop. Now, imagine I'm coming around and just putting my hands around your waist, gently, gently encouraging the lifting through the rib cage, the opening through the rhomboids, that's between the shoulder blades, the flattening of the back. And on the next inhale, begin to move, dropping down into cow, looking up, exhaling up into cat. Inhaling down. And exhaling up. Inhaling down. And exhaling up. Now, really notice on this inhale how this is a back bend. This is a sort of back bend as we inhale into cow. And looking up, it's a heart opener. Such a gentle heart opener. And then exhaling up into cat, opposite direction. Staying in cat, begin to sink back. Just a little legs, really arch that back, like you're stretching back. Inhaling, coming back forward into tabletop. Lengthening through that crown, walking those hands back to your knees, curling your toes under, and then lifting yourself up into standing forward fold. So you're going to be at the back of your mat, coming right into standing forward fold. If you can't reach the floor, put your hands on your shins, drop out of your head. Now, it's a really nice place here to hook your elbows, your thumbs into your elbows, and let everything fall loose here. Let the work be in your legs. Build up from your feet. So notice, pick up your toes, and notice that the balls of your feet connect to the floor. So that's the big toe ball of the foot and the little toe ball of the foot. And then notice how your heels connect. The outside edge of your heels and the inside edge. And then set the little toe down. It's really cool from this position, you can see your toes. And then the 4th toe. And then the 3rd toe. And then the 2nd toe. And the big toe. Let them be softly spread out. And just so everybody knows, my toes go little toe, 4, 3, 2, and then the big toe. It's okay if you can't do them all at one at a time. Dropping those hands down, inhaling halfway up. Flat back, grow long in the crown. So right now we're holding through the hamstrings, allowing them to open. Hamstrings are key to the low back. Walking your hands back, placing them on your shins, lengthening through the crown of your head. Spin your knees open to the little toes. All these little tiny micro movements. Oftentimes we move so quickly through the day that we forget about the micro movements, the little things we need to do. Now, feel the lift begin to happen in the tail. Like you're lifting your tail to the ceiling. Engage that pelvic floor. Feel the strength coming from that supportive center. Excellent. Now, begin to lift the head so you're coming back into flat back. Growing long in the spine, lengthening, draw those shoulders away from your ears. Now, from this point right here, the legs are strong. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, lower down without losing the lengthening in the tail. So the knees are not locked, but they're strong, and the legs are long. This is such a slow movement. And when we slow down like this, the mind often begins to go, what are you doing? What are you doing? You gotta hurry up. So if that little monkey's circles in his room, just bring your attention to your breath. So we're still breathing. And if you stop breathing, that's when the thinking mind gets a hold of us. So bring your breath in. Now we're really folding forward. Nice little tuck in the chin so you can feel that the lengthening in the spine. So when I say tuck the chin, it's not a deep, tight cut, it's a soft one. And on the next inhale, let your hands just fall forward, engage that core, and begin to roll up one vertebrae at a time. And if you need to help yourself, you can. Sometimes when your back is sore, this rolling up is challenging. So put your hands on your knees and help yourself come up. Now, if you're dizzy, open your eyes and find a point to look at. The interesting thing is, notice what your proprioception is doing. Proprioception is your relation in space. My relation in space right now is I feel 9 feet tall. What's happening in your relation in space? Hands are facing forward. We're in mountain pose. Growing long through the crown. Draw those ears back over your shoulders, but then let the shoulders go down. Bring that belly button in. Nice deep breath. On the next inhale, inhaling your hands up overhead. Exhaling, swan dive forward. Belly button to the spine, really supporting yourself. Touching the floor or your shins, inhaling halfway up. Exhaling down. Inhaling, reverse swan dive. All the way up. Exhaling, hands down, center line. Inhaling, circling them around. Exhaling, swan dive forward. Inhaling, halfway up. Exhaling all the way down. Inhaling, reverse swan dive. I'm going to let you guys go on your own for the next 3 half sun salutations. So notice what happens when you go on your own. Can you stay at the same rhythm? Does your body slow down or does it want to speed up? Just notice with no judgment. So I have one more left. Wherever you are, continue through. When you finish, just rest with hands in Anjali Mudra prayer position. Eyes are closed. Notice what's happening. Feel the energy. Feel the connectedness of the feet to the earth. Find your breath. Notice that softening everywhere in the body and the gentle support through the core. Excellent, releasing the hands down. Finding your strap again. So this time we do need a strap because what we're going to do with the arms, I want to make our arms a little bit longer. So I'm going to give you my back so you can see what I'm doing. Strap in the right hand. Inhaling the hands up over. Be careful not to hit yourself in the back of your head. So like we did with taking our hand on our elbow, we're going to drop that strap behind us and then begin to walk your hands together. Now, as you can tell, this is it for me, right here. I feel like it's about a foot apart, but that's okay. We're gonna just start here. Take a nice deep breath, grow long in your crown, feet are hip distance apart, drop out of the tailbone. So what happens in my body is that when I begin to stand and I don't pay attention, I get a pelvic tilt. See how my booty goes back? Bring that tailbone down underneath. And then draw that top hand down with the bottom hand and breathe into it. This is it right here. Sometimes shoulders can be really challenging. Find your breath. Let's do 3 deep breaths here. And that's with the left hand pulling the right hand down. Growing long through the crown. One more breath. Excellent. Now reverse it and bring the right hand up and feel it in that left shoulder. Breathe into it. One more breath. You can do it. Now, walk your hands close to each other one more time. I think I moved a ½ an inch, but that's okay. That's a little bit of movement. 2 more breaths. And then soften. And I always let the top hand let go, bringing it down, opening those arms into a big dynamic movement. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And then again, inhaling them up, bringing the left arm up, dropping that strap behind you, taking a hold of it with the right arm. So, here we go. Walk your hands as close together as you can get them. Now, some of you are going to have the ability to hook your fingers into one another. And if you have that sort of flexibility in your arms, please use it. It does not happen in my body. I do massage, and so my shoulders are pretty tight. That's why this is so good. And we work with our arms in front of us all day long. So this is bringing them an opposite direction of which we generally go. So nice deep inhale in through your nose, grow long in the crown. Exhale, draw that right hand down, bringing the left shoulder, the left hand down with it. So this is a little bit of a weak side for me. I injured this side of my body a few years ago. I'm still working through it. Patiently, we always are patient with our bodies. One more. Now, inhale. Draw that left hand up. Bring the right hand with it. Feel it in the front of your right shoulder. Nice deep breath in. Excellent. Now walk those hands in a little bit more. Can you bring them closer together? For women, this is a really useful opening so that we can hook and unhook our bra strap. Yes. Deep breath. Now, releasing the top hand, letting that strap come back down into the right hand. Inhaling the hands down. Exhaling. Inhaling your hands up overhead. Exhaling it down. I'm still here, even though I'm giving you my back. I'm going to go back to giving you my back, but one more. So now we're going to add to this. So double check your feet, hip distance apart. Knees are soft but long. Pelvic floor is engaged, growing long in the crown. Opening that heart, bring that right hand back over. Bring the left hand to meet it. Maybe. All right, there it is. So walking together. Now, grow long in your crown. And this time, work your hands towards each other. Engage the pelvic floor. Draw that belly button in and press through your hip. So it's kind of like half moon but we're gonna open by drawing the elbow back of the right hand. A little bit of twist in the upper back. So if your body's talking to you and it's too much, back out of it. Breathe into it. This catches all the ribs. 2 more breaths. Inhaling, coming up. Now, right here, same thing. Exhaling the other direction. Notice how the body feels different when one arm is up and one arm is down. Remember, don't lose that belly button. Keep it in. Half of this work is core work also. The cool thing about the core is we can work it from so many different directions because it is our support. Inhaling, drawing up, releasing that right hand, bringing it up and around, taking a hold of that strap behind you, right here, inhaling, lifting those arms straight up. Nice deep breath. One more time. Excellent. Releasing that hand down, inhaling that left arm up, dropping that strap behind you, finding it with the right hand, walking those hands together. So, inhaling, growing nice and tall, engage that core, nice and long, inhaling, starting with the left hip, pressing through that left hip. And notice, so it's interesting in my body, going this direction with my left arm up is much more ease and flow than the other direction. Why is that? It doesn't matter. My monkey mind wants to know why. The why does not need an answer. No answer needed for why. Inhaling, coming up, exhaling. The question is what? What do we need to do to open the body? So we're exhaling the other direction into half moon, lateral body opener. Breathing into it. Creating space all through those ribs. Find your breath. Going long in the crown. Inhaling, coming up. Releasing that left hand, dropping the strap down. Excellent. I'm going to come back around. We're going to open our feet wide on the mat. Oh, my hips just opened too. So it's such an interesting phenomenon that what happens above happens below. What happens below happens above. So if you're finding that you're having low back pain, you're probably having neck pain too, or between your shoulder blades. So you can open your shoulders to open your hips. So here we are. Feet are wide, parallel with the mat. Engage that core. Our hands are flat against our strap, about maybe shoulder width apart. I don't want the hands close at this point because this is going to be more about opening the front of the arms. So here we are, preparing, breathing, checking in all those little micro movements. We're going to begin with the arms. We're going to inhale, lift those hands up off the back. Feel that chest open. Feel the shoulder blades come together and drop out of your shoulders. Nice deep breath. What's talking to you? Bring it the breath. On the next inhale, grow long through the crown, and then exhale forward. All the way forward, let those hands come up and over. And remember, your forward is going to be different than my forward. So honor. It might be deeper, it might not be as deep. Just notice. Now, work with those little micro movements. Find your breath, spin your knees open, lift through the tail, engage that core. Notice how when you engage your core, it gives you more space to tip through the body. Just notice. Breathing into it. Now, what happens if you add a slight tip in the chin? I got about 3 more inches in opening my arms by letting the back of my neck open.
That's a pattern. That's a pattern in my body that has to be disrupted. Carrying my head up, tipped up. Now, from this position right here on the inhale, lift your hands to the ceiling. This is a really interesting micro movement. Lifting those hands and then lowering them down as you draw the body up. Beautiful. Release those hands. And I just had an interesting noticing. I was hanging on for dear life. What would it feel like to not hang on to things so tightly? Let those hands go. What would it feel like? Wiggle those fingers to just soften your grip on things. So what shows up on the mat is also happening in life. And wow, that's a tough one to admit. I am gripping onto things for dear life. Maybe if I soften my grip and lighten up a little bit, things will be easier. Take a nice deep breath in, inhaling up. Hands up overhead, exhaling, palms headed to the floor. We're gonna go straight forward, core is strong, and place that left hand, or your right hand rather, in front of your face on the floor, not in front of your face, but on the floor. And inhale, opening up that left arm, spinning open. Wow, how much more space do you have in your shoulders for this twist? Now, if you begin to feel yourself twist all the way, see how my hips are kind of twisting into it, bring those hips back, square them off, let the twist happen in the spine, breathing into it. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. Just a little twisting. Lengthening through the crown of your head. 2 more breaths. Inhale through those fingertips, exhaling, lowering down. Switching out the hands, readjust, inhale, engage that core, bring that belly button to the spine. Spin to the other side. Notice how the left side and the right side differ. Is one side easier to twist? Doesn't matter if it is or isn't. Do you follow your hips one direction more than the other direction? Breathe into it. Two more breaths. Last one. Exhaling, coming back to center. From right here, we're going to spin our toes so they're going to face the corner of the mat. And we're going to just squat right down into this like a little crab. Right here. Crab right down into it. So your hands are still on the floor. Your hips are opening. Left hand to the left knee. Right hand to the right knee. Engage that core, flatten that back. Let yourself come down and then roll up. So we're going to do that wave with the spine again. So do it really slowly. This is not a big movement. This is about feeling where in your body is there resistance. Check your toes. Are you gripping your mat? What would it feel like to soften your grip? 2 more. And last one, we're going to come all the way up, all the way up. Coming up, spin those feet forward. You can walk your feet in, you can hop. I'm not a hopper these days, I'm just a little spin them together. So let's step to the front of our mat. We're going to take a nice deep breath in, inhaling up. We're going to exhale, swan dive forward, headed into forward fold, hands on either side of your feet. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, really bend those knees so your hands can touch the floor, and then step back into downward facing dog. Here's our dog right here. Walk through those heels. We're going to just do this one dog as we travel back down to the floor. Okay, so inhaling up on your tiptoes. Exhaling all the way through your heels. One full down dog, 4 breaths. Two more. And last one. And from dog, find your way, whatever direction you need to go, into lying on your back, feet in standing. So this is a great point that if you want to do a vinyasa, you can. If you want to go through a full cycle of movement, feel free. Otherwise, do what your body is asking for. Some people like to roll back. Some people like to gently lay back. I'm going to give you just a couple of breaths to get there. And then bring your knees to gently rocking side to side. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. And then lengthen through that left leg all the way through. Grow it long. And draw that right knee in. And exhale, draw it in. Inhale, release it out. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, release it out. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, release it out. It's really, really important here that you are using your right leg, because as we do wind relieving pose, so we're following our breath as we exhale, draw it in, inhale, release it out. This actually massages the ascending colon, which is the large intestine of our elimination system. So one more all the way through, and then release it down. Now, engage your core, draw your pelvic floor in, and slide that leg back with your heel off the floor low. And that's your core work for today. Draw the left leg in, exhale, draw it in, inhale, release it out, exhale, draw it in. This is a great posture to do in the morning before you get out of bed. Unless you're the type of person like me where I have to go to the bathroom the minute I wake up. But if you are the type of person that can lie in bed and you can do about 5 or 6 wind relieving poses on each side, then it helps to stimulate your bowels so that elimination system can really enter into the day easily. Ease and flow. 2 more. And last one. Nice. So again here, engage your pelvic floor, draw that belly button to your spine. Heel is about 1 inch off the floor. Slide it down. All right, walk both feet into standing. We need to do a bridge because we've done no back bending today at all. So we've got to get at least one. There's 6 directions in yoga. We want to touch on all of them. So walk those feet in, let them be hip distance apart, engage that pelvic floor, inhale, and just do a little pelvic tilt. See if you can feel your spine touch the floor. Now, from this position, I'm still breathing, but I'm holding this pelvic tilt. Bring your hands up, pick your head up, lengthen through your spine so that you can really get a sense of that spine opening. So when you're in pelvic tilt and do that, I feel it between my shoulder blades. Where do you feel it? And then exhale, lowering that pelvic floor down, releasing it. Inhale, draw it back into pelvic tilt. Scoop those shoulders underneath you. And really important in this posture, you want to be in a relaxed position if you're going to look side to side. So release it out, look side to side, give yourself a little space in the neck. Look back at the ceiling, inhale, and lift all the way into bridge. Now, remember, bridge comes in many different forms. Your bridge might be right here. Some days, this is all I have. And honestly, some days in bridge, the only thing I have is a pelvic tilt, and that's okay. So, let your work be pressing into the floor, engaging through that pelvic floor, and lifting up. If you have the space in your body and you want to attach your hands to each other underneath, now that our shoulders are nice and wide open, you can do that and lift a little higher. Find your breath. Close your eyes. Holding your hands is not a requirement, it's an option. Deep breath. Now imagine that I'm going to come by and touch the insides of your knees, and you're going to just give a little bit of pressure into those knees, that touch. Your knees are not touching each other. It's more like it's holding a block. If you had a yoga block and you had it between your knees and you're hanging on to it and you don't want to drop it. Now lift a little higher on the exhale. You can bring your glutes into it at this point, lifting yourself a little bit higher. So for those of you who know meditation in motion and you want to drop into that, you can. For those of you who are new to meditation in motion, it's when the body wants to move out of a posture on its own, which mind naturally does. We so often do it from bridge that mind naturally wants to take off and just go. Meditation in motion is also like unwinding. It doesn't involve the thinking mind at all. It is kind of an opportunity to let the body be the leader instead of the mind. So for those of you who are still in bridge, keep breathing. Find that breath. For those of you who want to experience meditation in motion, keep your eyes closed. Follow the rhythm of your body. There's no right way. It doesn't necessarily look like traditional yoga, but it is yoga because it's the union of your breath and your body and your soul just working all together. Notice that in yoga, there's no involvement of thinking mind. The union is between the breath, the body, and the soul, or your spirit, whatever you call that part of yourself. It is the quiet guide. Find your breath again. Follow what's happening. And if you're still in bridge, keep breathing. Take a nice deep inhale, lifting all the way into bridge if you're still in bridge. And then begin to lower down slowly. Slowly. If you're in meditation in motion, begin to feel your knees come to your chest. And for those of you that just are coming out of bridge, find your knees coming to your chest, gently rocking side to side. There's always more than one way to get where you're going. So notice the massaging of the low back and knees rocking side to side. And then lengthen through that left leg, all the way through. Draw that right knee in, hooking the hand on the outside of the right knee, and begin to draw that knee across the body, making sure you're supported through the pelvic floor. Opening the right hand, and then looking to the right hand as that knee crosses the body into this deep twist. Notice what's different today. The beauty of doing yoga every day or every other day is that no 2 days are alike. Every day the body's going to be different. One day yoga will be really easy, ease and flow. The next day the body might be a little tired or sore, so it might be a little more challenging. But when you show up, inhaling, drawing that knee back to center, rolling out of your twist. When you show up, it gives yourself the space to honor where you are in this particular day. All we have is this moment. Inhaling, bringing it back to center. You might have to wiggle yourself back flat on the floor. Draw that left knee in, all the way in, hooking that right hand on the outside of the left knee, drawing it across the body, opening your left arm, looking towards your left hand. Deep twist, other way. Nice deep breath. Slowing it down, cooling the body. Excellent work. Inhaling, drawing that knee in. Giving it a little counter pose as we do. Lengthening that leg down, flattening yourself back onto the floor. Dropping down, opening those palms up, and just check in here before we drop all the way into Shavasana. Check in. Body, do you need anything else? My body today is saying, no, stay here. So as we drop into our feet, they fall open. If you're not comfortable being flat on your back, you can bring your feet to standing the width of the mat and drop your knees together. Letting go in your pelvic floor. Finding that the breath grows shallow. And that mind slips to that in-between space where you're not awake and you're not asleep. You're simply present in the moment. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. For those of you at home, you can certainly stay in Shavasana if it feels yummy. Otherwise, roll to your side.
Hands to your heart. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Let it out slowly. Namaste.